Yes. Right. So this is what's called, this is a special place in the Temple Mount called the Beit Midrash of Yitzchak and Talia Imas of blessed memory. Who were they? They were actually immigrants from the Soviet Union, from Russia. And they came here, made Aliyah, and they started making an inyan, making it an issue of coming up here once a week or once a month, bringing out groups of Jews here to expose them to the importance and the significance and the holiness of Har HaBayit, of the Temple Mount. They used to bring up, back in their day in the 80s and in the 90s, they used to bring up books of Psalms, Talmud, Mishnahs, Torahs, etc., etc. Even Shenders. It was a legit study hall for all intents and purposes. Yeah. And unfortunately, about 8 or 9 years ago, they were murdered by Arab terrorists coming on their way home from the Temple Mount to their home in Beit Chagai. So we simply dedicate this particular spot on the Temple Mount in the memory. We don't bother anybody. We don't touch any structures. We don't bother the Arabs and Muslims, Jordanians. We keep to ourselves. We mind our own business, and we simply state words of inspiration, words connected to the Beit HaMikdash, words connected to the Holy Temple, to the Temple Mount itself, or to the Parshat Shavua, or to the daily portion of the weekly biblical portion, or anything else that's related to Torah, or anything else that happens to be on our minds. So this is the place that we simply share words of inspiration, words of holiness, ideas of holiness.
They were allowed to bring Sfarim
No, they were allowed to. In the 90s, they were allowed to.
And what happened with that?
So on with that, it hurts their feelings. It hurts their feelings, and they stopped letting. And this is what's called the status quo. Now, people, when they hear status quo, they're like, okay, fine, no building invasion in Judea and Samaria, what do I care, as long as it's not affecting, my children, my family, my house, what do I care what happens in Judea and Samaria and Har HaBayit. But the fact of the matter is that we're so comfy in our pillows and in our quilts and our beds and in our living room. Hashem, the Ribbono Shel Olam, Hashem, the God of Israel, does not have a home. He doesn't pay taxes. He doesn't pay a mortgage. Hashem's home is in ruins. But it doesn't matter, because the holiness of the place does not leave the holiness, and the divine presence does not leave the western wall, and it doesn't leave the Temple Mount. So we come up here and show Hashem that we simply don't give up on the holy side in Judaism. And obviously, just as it is a mitzvah, it is a commandment to conquer the land of Israel, so too it's a mitzvah and a commandment to conquer Har HaBayit, or the Temple Mount. And so we try and bring up Jews up here, every so often, every day.